her. And I'ma tell her how she sing for me T-Pain. Your mama's hooked on the packs I'll be selling her. I click Amazon, bang 'em and I'm not saying. I feel his head with the lead like a mukbang. The magazine made me lean when I walk in the drumstick will make a neck bang like a pump bang. Hop in the cab, I'm banging the crossbirder. Head in the west and I'm banging the push birder. Couple of cans and a puff on me death sticker. Click on my fingers, he's cutting me custard. Bringing the barbells, bringing the website. I'm flinging the drive through, bringing the cassette. Belling me non-stop, selling the last set. Hopping the drop top, I'm running the man down. It's the big bucks, I've been looking a bit distressed. To kill mama got me up on a ring list. Pole position, had a fella running the distance. I'll be banging her, banging her, banging her, giving her triplets. The bigger the bag, the bigger the butt crack. The bigger the chance the birds up in the contacts. The bigger's a big deal, a pen on the contract. Sign me up, let me give a tip on my top end. And I've been whipping a wire, popping a Benson. Pushing her back, the full stack like a benching. Giving the fish scale, that's sliding like a penguin. Flipping the chick on my bills, why fuck a pensions. Slow mo, wishing I've been puffing the pig's parts. Selling free fires to the fiends by the seaside. On my tail lines and the seams of my Levi's. With a step bigger than Nicki Minaj beat. And I'ma tell her how she sing for me T-Pain. Your mama's hooked on the packs I'll be selling her. I click Amazon, bang 'em and I'm not saying. I feel his head with the lead like a mukbang. The magazine made me lean when I walk in the drumstick will make a neck bang like a pump bang. Hop in the cab, I'm banging the crossbirder. Head in the west and I'm banging the push birder. Couple of cans and a puff on me death sticker. Click on my fingers, he's cutting me custard. Bringing the barbells, bringing the website. I'm flinging the drive through, bringing the cassette. Belling me non-stop, selling the last set. Hopping the drops up, I'm running the man down. It's the big bucks, I've been looking a bit distressed. To kill mama got me up on a ring list. Pole position, had a fella running the distance. I'll be banging her, banging her, banging her, giving her triplets. The bigger the bag, the bigger the butt crack. The bigger the chance the birds up in the contacts. The bigger's a big deal, a pen on the contract. Sign me up, let me give a tip on my top end. And I've been whipping a wire, popping a Benson. Pushing her back, the full stack like a benching. Giving the fish scale, that's sliding like a penguin. Flipping the chick on my bills, why fuck a pensions. Slow mo, wishing I've been puffing the pig's parts. Selling free fires to the fiends by the seaside. On my tail lines and the seams of my Levi's. With a step bigger than Nicki Minaj beat.
Welcome to the Friday nights. I'm Jason Sandberg. Fellas, I had a fantastic week. Thanksgiving was wonderful. I ate way too much. I had too much. I'm going through carb withdrawal. So if I'm off tonight, it's because of the carbs. I had second helpings of pie tonight as well. But regardless, the mailman was very good to me this week. I got Reset Protocol by Julius Friedman. It's kind of got this Mobius vibe to it. I'm greatly looking forward to this book. So I'll let you know what I think, but it's going to be a good read, I can tell. Nice. And then, as usual, I'm hard at work on Jupiter issue 2. I'm doing inks and coloring and so forth on Jupiter issue 2. Pretty soon, I will show you some actual samples of the project. But as always, Jupiter issue 1 is in demand on Found My Comic and IndieGoGo. Please go check it out. We're on the way to 10K. Cracked the $9,600 mark this past week. So inching our way to 10K, and then obviously next year we'll be launching with issue 2. Craig, how was your
Yeah.
Thanksgiving? Do you do Thanksgiving up in Canada?
Yeah, we do, but we do it like a month prior, month earlier. So we do have Thanksgiving here as well.
Is that so you get like Black Friday before our Black Friday, or what's the deal with that? Or is it because it's so cold, or what? Or is it?
We kind of get 2 of each. We're kind of spoiled. It's like we're a divorced kid. 2 Christmases, right? So there are people like I know that celebrate both Thanksgivings, right? Because a
Wait.
lot of us, cross, both have American relatives and Canadian relatives, or mixed families.
Time out. 2 Christmases. Is that some sort of pagan thing?
No.
What? 2 Christmases?
No, it's for kids who have divorced parents. You go
Yeah.
separate.
Oh, okay.
And then
Got it.
Christmas
Got
with
it.
mom.
Something I was going to ask you, because I actually am working with it right now. So my campaign is still open.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking about closing Soultac down at the end of December, but they always say always leave a storefront up, because I have no idea when I'm launching Soultac 5. Like it might not even be for another year. So my question to you is, are you going to leave Jupiter 1 up right up until you launch Jupiter 2? Or are you going to, you're just gonna keep...
Actually, my intent is to leave Jupiter 1 open as just a storefront, because in this day and age, you never know when someone's going to stumble across like a post or a link. And the worst thing in the world is a dead link. So I won't be like promoting that. I won't be promoting Jupiter 1. I'll be putting all the attention I can, in this indie marketplace. You're trying to get as much attention as you can to drive traffic to your campaign or your link. So I'll be putting all my attention on Jupiter number 2, but I'll leave it 1 open. And then after number 2 fulfills, I'll go add issue 2 as an add-on to the first campaign, and then I'll add obviously issue 1 as an add-on on the second campaign, because again, you never know when someone's going to stumble across your link. I'm still getting paid out by IndieGoGo. Like every month I get a check for whatever's come in. I don't know if there's a point at which IndieGoGo says, okay, there hasn't been traffic on your campaign in like 6 months. We're gonna.
You're right. It's 6 months.
Is it 6 months? Okay.
Yes,
So as long as do you have to have a certain amount of volume, or just any sales within 6 months?
Just any activity on your account, so long as it's been within the last 6 months, they keep it open. But if 6 months without any activity, they close it down.
Okay. That my gut feeling is that I'm not too concerned. We'll see what happens, but that is my intent, just to leave it open. And then the other thing is that when I get completed with the second campaign, then I'm going to go on to posting on Amazon and Shopify in earnest, so I can get more places. But right now, my intent, I want the bragging rights of cracking the 10K, just because you got to get whatever kind of social proof or any kind of attention you get. So I'm going to go for that. At that point, I'll spread my efforts.
I think that's the big lesson I keep trying to tell all indie creators, is that if whatever your funding goal is, it should be in one place before you consider branching out. So whatever that dollar is, one place, one site. Once you've achieved the magic number, then you branch out, right? Or even if it's just a funding goal, like people will have a 3,000 goal here and a 2,000. I've seen campaigns like this and a 1,000 goal. They have it on 3 different sites, and then they'll have like 500 raised here, 700 raised there. It's like now all 3 of your campaigns aren't going to reach their goal. It's very nice. Yeah, I've seen it happen a couple times, but I get it. So you want to hit that 5K, and then once you do, bam, you're going to plaster every site with it.
We don't have the New York Times bestseller blurb. All we've got is like, it hit 10K. That's all we got.
Figures.
And then work my butt off, and in 10 years I'll get to the next decimal point or whatever it is.
Right.
So it's all everything's constantly uphill, but that's what makes us stronger. But Craig.
Yes.
What was the highlight of your past week?
So snow just fell, so I got to shovel snow again for the first time in a year today. So that was fun. A couple books I brought out, and I know I didn't read it recently, but I brought it back out again.
Nice.
All right.
Book here. I do remember when I did read this, the team or Dojo Chronicles, they're in here, right? They're featured in here. They're a big part of the backstory in this.
There is one member of that team is in Dojo Kun Chronicles, and that's Wisecracker.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I remember reading it, and I enjoyed the story. I remember me and you discussed it last time you were on our show. Other book that did come, it didn't come through Canada Post, which is why it came here so quickly. But this is a point for Critical Blast. So I think he sent me maybe 12 to 14 campaigns, and more than 85% of them have shown up without any issues. So this one, I don't know, Jason, did you feel this cover? It's another one of them really soft.
Yeah, it's got soft touch. Yeah, I haven't read it yet. It's in my to be read pile, but yeah, it's a beautiful book.
And then he gave a little homage there to Dan Fraga's Rub the Blood. I don't know if they even put in the names like after Liefeld and Fraga, and it took me 2 seconds to look at it. I was like, wait a minute, okay, they just traced the original. Artwork's pretty good though. It's all right. I'm a fan
of the homage. The homage covers. Yeah. It's like a little inside joke. It's the old if you know you know. So yeah, I love that stuff.
But yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that this week, and it just came today. It just arrived today.
Nice. So, I'm glad that guy in customs didn't rip the bag open and take your comic, because you've had too much of that. Too much.
Right. Yeah, that was the one fallback, is the way Dojo does these. He doesn't write anything on the mailer, so the mailer fell out of the bag at some point, and it's not like somebody can wave a magic and figure out where this thing's supposed to be mailed to, so it probably got chucked in a garbage can. But yeah, it is what it is. Write the address on the mailer too, please. It doesn't cost anything to write something in pen. Maybe fingers crossed, they do the right thing and put postage on it. Who knows? But in any case, how was your week? Dojo Kun?
Mine, yeah, it went real well. The holiday, we had family over. My best friend of 47 years joined us.
Nice.
So we had a great time. We played a game called Your Average Joe, because that's his name. So that was fun. And I also have some reading material to show and tell as well.
Okay, for sure.
So I also got Phenomenova.
Yeah.
I also got Reset Protocol.
Oh, wow.
And then yesterday, Heroic Tales from John's Longbox came.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. So that's another one that that means I should see it in a month or so. Until mine.
So this one was Renzo Rodriguez cover and interior art. So Renzo's a great guy, not only to work with, but also a great artist.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got Impossible Stars 1 that he did.
Okay.
So, yeah, I read that. I enjoyed that. I like science fiction, so. But cool. You wanna see what's going on in our chat?
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving Friday, Black Friday. Everyone's either in a sugar carb coma, or they're out shopping, or they're exhausted shopping. So Jackknife is basically holding up the chat all by himself. If you're one of our 13 live viewers, help Jackknife out. Right now he's the only one in the chat.
Yeah. Feels alone out there. Right? Yeah. Thank you, Jackknife. By the way, Jackknife, I think we might keep this to a 60 minute. I think we're going to try to stay as close as we can to 60. Between eating the Thanksgiving, enjoying the good meals, me shoveling snow all day. I think you also mentioned, Dojo, you've got things planned after this as well. But
right.
But yeah, we'll see what's happening. Yeah, I'm going through all the comments. It's just Jackknife.
Yeah, it's just Jackknife. We got 14 people watching live, but Jackknife he's got the chat to himself. And again, all those people that are going to be watching this in the replay, I am thankful for you, our audience, the people in the chat. Thank you for hanging out with us. Yes. All right, Craig. It was a crazy work week. I was trying to get as much done as I could Monday through Wednesday. Then had Thanksgiving, and then today I went in. I had coffee with my best friend from college. Then went into work. I worked like 6 hours straight. I have no idea what's going on in the news. What's our first of 3 topics?
I do miss the weeks that we had where we were overwhelmed with topics. Do you remember that, where we'd have like 6 or 8 to choose from?
Yeah, our investigative team was they're waiting on pins and needles for us to give them their assignments so they could start doing the fact checking and the research, and
the money was flowing. Everyone's bringing their work. It's abundance on your desk. Yeah, I miss those days. But so our first topic here, this one comes from ReadWrite. Tron's Justin Sun, and I haven't looked into this Justin Sun, but I'm really curious about this person, because I am not the kind of person who can just throw millions of dollars away on a laugh. So I'm like, how do people have that kind of money? But in any case, Tron's Justin Sun pays millions for a viral banana in New York. So this art exhibit, you see the banana with the duct tape. It's referred to as the comedian, is what they call it.
Okay.
It's come up for auction. It first sold for like 1 point something mil, and then they were hoping for 2. It turns out Justin here paid and I thought it was 5.2 million pounds. I don't know if the price went up further, but that's 6.6 million US dollars. And then, and I think it was you that sent me about 40 minutes before the show. You had an update on this.
Yeah. So this initially, I thought this was like a Jeff Koons like plaster or plastic banana duct taped to a wall. Turns out it's a freaking real banana.
So,
yes.
So Dojo, did you hear about this?
I read about it when this was announced, and they actually send information for him to know how to replace the banana. Because wait a minute. Okay. This is getting weirder. Okay, so
Jack says he's a crypto founder. Very controversial crypto. So at least Jackknife's comments. Thank you.
Okay, you go to Christie's auction house and you've got to provide the provenance, the history of the object. Are you telling me when this guy tries to sell it, it's just going to be the duct tape?
No, the banana will be there, but it's a banana who it's got a shelf life. So, soon it will be a rotten banana and you'll need to put a new one in its place. I imagine you get a roll of duct tape and then, you hit the produce aisle.
Guys, this stinks of money laundering to me. This is more fishy than Hunter Biden's paintings. This is very, very fishy.
A piece of art that you pay for yourself, but you have the ability of not only owning it but replacing it at your own. But you can't duplicate it.
As a money laundering specialist, which I am during the day, this definitely is a red flag. Yeah.
So I'm looking at the thing. It's not like it's a green banana where you've got like a week.
Right.
I mean, that's like a yellow banana. So all right. So people, those of you watching, what happened was that we came across this, and on this show, we take the piss out of communists, Californians, AI people, and abstract and avant-garde artists. Those are the four things.
And Canadians.
And Canadians, sometimes. Those are the and mainstream comic book readers. But those are the things we typically will take the piss out of, right? And you've watched the show, you know that. So I saw this and I'm like, Craig, this is run of the mill. It's getting. I feel like I'm going down the rabbit hole. This is getting weirder and weirder, weird. But anyways, we're not done making fun of these people. However, this afternoon I saw that some guy bought the banana, then he ate it.
No, really, it's
Dojo. What are the tax implications for forking over $2 million and
$6.6 million US dollars?
$6.6 million and then eating it. Can he write that off as a
business expense? Well, he's a comedian, right? And what did you say this was called?
Yeah, comedian. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So he can definitely.
Well, he's a crypto founder.
Into his work.
He's a crypto founder, so he's a crypto. He owns, he's like Sam Bankman-Fried kind of going on,
Okay.
So, money to burn, right? Spend $6.6 million on a banana and eat it.
I think this means he doesn't know I think this indicates he doesn't know. He might have $1 billion, but I don't think he knows the value of $1. So I think there's more to this story. We are going to have to keep our eye on this because this is really fishy. This reeks of money laundering.
Oh, Jackknife's got another one for us. Jackknife, thank you for being here. Justin's son also recently invested $30 million into Trump's crypto project and became an advisor. He's donated millions to charity auction for dinner with Warren Buffett. Okay.
Did he give Warren Buffett a banana?
But
I don't know. I think this is so I don't like. I'm not a particularly huge fan of Marcel Duchamp, but some of the things he did were interesting. So this would have been interesting 100 years ago. Mm-hmm. So Dojo, are you an art historian at all?
Not a bit.
So Marcel Duchamp took a urinal and submitted it as a statue in an exhibit. And he did a bunch of he did the famous painting Nude Descending a Staircase. He's an interesting figure to the extent that some of his ideas were thought provoking and interesting, but again, it was 100 years ago. This stuff is so played out as far as I'm concerned. It's people, they're trying to scandalize. They're trying to be shocking and scandalize people's sensibilities. You can't do that. You can't do that. We've gone through 2 world wars. We've gone through all the atrocities of the 20th century. We've gone through the breakdown of traditional marriage. We've got people on fentanyl shitting in the streets. There's nothing you can do in the art world that's going to shock. So I say this to the art world: stop it with the trying to shock us, stop trying to scandalize us. Give us beauty, give us transcendence, give us craftsmanship. Stop with this Andy Warhol crap. It's
escapism.
It's 50 to 100 years old. It's not new.
Right.
All right. So, question: what would have happened if nobody had bought the banana and it had okay? So just theoretical here. Nobody buys the banana, and after like a week, it starts to get runny and decompose, and it's smearing down the side of the museum. If you buy it, then are you required to maintain it in a rotting condition?
Oh, good point. See, I think that at that point they can start to compare it to the decline of civilization as it runs down the wall, like you're saying. So I think that if you got that far, yeah, you'd have to keep it in that condition. Agreed.
Oh boy. All right. So Craig, I got an idea. Why don't you make a tier for Soul Tack number 5 that's a plantain duct taped to a wall.
Right. I like it. Yes.
Oh. All right. We got 18 people watching live. What is our topic number 2?
Okay. So topic number 2 comes to us from Sky News. Egyptians drank cocktails of psychedelic drugs in ancient mugs. Research reveals. So I don't know if you're watching what's been happening with Egypt. There's a really famous Egyptologist who's from Egypt, but basically they've mapped out a lot of ancient Egyptian civilization and where various tombs and things are going to be. But now in Egypt, because they know the limited amount of stuff they have, they're really milking, like, we're going into this tomb and we're going into this discovery. But they've got it all planned out because they've got all the stuff they haven't broken into. So that kind of ties into this, where they pulled these mugs out with this concoction in it, and they decided to test the samples in it, and in it they found hallucinogenics, bodily fluids, and alcohol. So obviously the Egyptians were having some fun time drinks at the pyramids back in the day.
I have questions.
Yes.
Like, really? The second ingredient there really is extremely questionable. Like, I'm surprised, and it doesn't get mentioned again in the article. It's like, wait, you can't just drop that there and then say nothing more about that.
Well, Dojo, are you telling me you're surprised the Egyptians had Diddy parties?
Oh, they could have been the OG, huh?
But yeah, it's to encourage fertility. So I imagine, the same problems that we have, where somebody in a position of wealth and power wants to have kids, and then they're having problems having kids, they're going to be willing with their fortune. Somebody promises the snake oil salesman, drink this.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you see right here is you see Mad Ruth projecting his 21st century sensibility backward in time 4,000 years. He's trying to intellectualize some spunk in the wine chalice. Let me tell you what really happened. What really happened was those guys that were sick and tired of building the pyramids. They were told, go get me a glass of wine, and they put something extra in there for the boss to teach them a lesson. That's what this is all about.
You're going really nefarious with it. I was just thinking that maybe there was some overshot.
Wild stuff. But we do have an investigative report on this topic. We did a deep dive on this one because this is like, this is groundbreaking. The fact that they had the hallucinogens. Right. This special investigative report is called Rosetta Stoned. All right. We all know that the Egyptians were party animals. Everybody knows that. As is well documented by many 70s and 80s celebrities like the Bengals and Steve Martin. Next slide.
King Tut, one wild and crazy guy.
So we have here an artist rendition of the chemists, the alchemists who put together that chalice in question. Dojo, did they look at all familiar to you?
Yeah, I think that I've seen them like sitting in a parked car before.
I wonder if they know Dave.
I think so. Mad Ruth, what was your favorite Cheech and Chong movie?
Oh boy, Up in Smoke.
Dojo, what was your favorite Cheech and Chong movie?
I hate to be a copycat, but Up in Smoke's pretty funny.
All right, next slide.
Hey man, how's my driving?
All right, so this is an artist rendition of what you would see after you drank from the chalice. Mad Ruth, which Yes album cover does this look like?
I'm not familiar with Yes, believe it or not.
Dojo, which Anderson, Wakeman, and Howe album cover does this look like?
Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, and Howe.
Sorry. You got me.
I think Bruford was the drummer. Don't leave the drummer out.
All right. My bad. Does this look like a Dream Theater album? King Crimson.
Not familiar with.
Mad Ruth, does this look like a Yes album cover?
I'm gonna say sure. Yes.
90125.
Right. Jackknife is no longer alone in the chat. We have Philbo Bagans watching in the chat. Philbo, put in the chat what prog rock album cover this looks like. Oh, he says Iron Maiden. Very good. Very good. We have 19 people watching live. Those of you watching live, put in the chat what prog rock album cover this looks like. All right. Next slide. All right. So this is there's been many theories about what was the true purpose of the pyramids, what's inside the pyramids. Dojo, what's your favorite theory about the pyramids and any ancient Egyptian relic?
I gotta believe that there was aliens that was directing it because they're like accurate to like 1/17th of an inch or something like that as far as placement of those stones. I mean, come on, how we couldn't be that accurate now, let alone back then. So yeah, they had some kind of architects or direction going on there that was otherworldly.
Craig, what do you think? You think the people from Atlantis helped them build the pyramids, or was it aliens?
I don't think so much that. I think a lot of the old ancient temples and stuff was a display of wisdom. Like, look how much we know. And it was an example of them that they knew the stars. They knew the star chart. It was an example for them on Earth to show that they could tell the relation of astrology and what was going on in the sky. And they basically built it to display that fact and mirror who they believe they were communicating with, because a lot of Egyptian was about afterlife, right? The underworld and what happens after death. But I also believe that they had lights at the top. So I'm not entirely sure what the top casing was. I believe that they actually had a battery to some degree, and that a light beam probably shot out the very top. And that's the reason for a lot of they weren't necessarily tombs. I just think they were big light beams and a big impressive show of knowledge for the time. So
interesting.
Deep.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. All I know is that people who are stoned don't have that much work ethic. So,
yeah, right.
All right. Next slide. All right. So there are many theories about aliens coming down and helping them build the pyramids. Dojo, you're down with that theory? I
am. Not only there, but if you look and talk about pyramids discovered elsewhere, like the Mayan pyramids, they're built with, in some cases, several of them have been covered with vegetation and not discovered until somewhat recently. They're as big or larger than the ones that we see in Egypt. So yeah, if aliens came, they were prolific.
Craig, what's your thought about the aliens in the pyramids?
So I don't think aliens. I'm one of those that doesn't think life reached our planet, because much like when the Spanish first arrived in North America, they didn't just come to do some minor observations and then leave peacefully. They came to exploit everything at their disposal to benefit their own society. And I think if something out there is going to travel millions of light years and this planet has anything that's of any value to them, they're just probably going to wipe it clean and then do what they got to do and land.
Well, what if it was a one-way trip, Craig? What if they came to this planet, did their thing, but then couldn't go home and they died off?
These are all good questions. I just think, I don't know. I think it's more complex than that. I don't think life from one planet can reach another planet. I don't know if that's truly possible, but that's just me.
What if the aliens came
Not
down?
organic, maybe. Yeah. Sorry.
What if the aliens came down and started to build the pyramids and like either try to enslave us or better the human race, found us to be incorrigible and just gave up?
Possible.
That's probably the most likely scenario.
Would that be a good pitch for a short story in Jupiter 3?
Yeah, there
Can
you
I
go.
do that?
I was thinking that would have absolutely been the
intelligent
case
life.
if they landed in Canada.
Yes.
Probably. All right, next
Yeah,
one.
it just literally throws its multiple hands
Yeah,
up in
we're
the air
done.
and then
You guys, yeah, all you guys want to do is play Xbox and get stoned. You're never gonna make any. You guys are subpar primordial ooze. We can't do anything with you. All right, so we may never know who built the pyramids. We may never know what they were doing with those magical elixirs with hallucinogens. But there's one thing we do know is that Susanna Hoffs is more beautiful than any actress that's ever played Cleopatra. Do either of you agree or disagree?
Agree. Although Taylor's pretty good in her time.
Elizabeth Taylor. But
All right. We're panel divided. All right. So those of you, please go walk like an Egyptian to the to go back Soltech, Jupiter, and Dojo's project. All right. What's topic number 3?
So yeah, our third and final topic tonight. And again, one of our co-hosts is down. If I didn't know, Aaron. Sorry, Aaron is away on special assignment.
Yeah, he was roboting so bad that he put him in the hospital.
Does he have any way to address that?
What's that?
Does he have any way to address that?
He's going to get more RAM. More RAM.
Beautiful.
We're hoping. We're hoping before Christmas he gets more RAM.
Okay.
So this one comes from NPR, Maine, my neighbor state. A man told 911 a bear chased him off a cliff, but weeks later he was arrested for murder. So this individual here, what's his name? Jeez, Nicholas Wayne Hamlet. Basically what they think is this is a big case of insurance fraud. And again, if you go to the outro, I actually put a lot of work. I was working on the outro like 5 minutes before the show even started. I was still tweaking it. But in any case, he took out life insurance on the particular individual. And then what they think happened is he lured him out in the woods, stole his ID, chucked him off a cliff. Then he picked up a cell phone and called on his behalf, pretending that, oh, I'm being attacked by a bear. Help me. Click. But obviously they played the message for the family. They're like, that's not the voice of the deceased. And then they figured out the life insurance claims. And so then they picked this dude up and they put it all together.
Oh my God.
Not the most brilliant of crime.
This is
just guys, this is why I have job security. I'm a fraud examiner, internal auditor, and anti-money laundering specialist for an insurance company. So when this stuff comes on, at once I shake my head, but on the other time it's like, all right, yeah, you guys keep thinking that you're clever, and yeah, we'll be at your doorstep.
So this is actually Man Bear Attacks Part 2. If you'd watched last week's episode, it was about these people. They were putting on a bear suit, and then they were breaking into cars, 2 Mercedes-Benz and like a Jaguar or something. It was Rolls-Royce, I believe. It was Rolls-Royce and 2 Mercedes. And they were scratching up the interior in a bear costume. But then with the insurance companies, the 2 Mercedes paid off. But then when it got to the Rolls-Royce, they're like, okay, wait a minute here. What's the odds of a bear breaking into 3 luxury cars in the same vicinity of the same neighborhood and scratching up the interior? And obviously they busted them.
Yeah, they didn't balk a little at the Mercedes-Benz, but once you hit $300,000 cars, they're like, you know what? Slow down a minute.
And then Jason again. See, Jason would be scary as a criminal because with pure logic, he's like, they should have dressed up as Antifa. No one would have asked any questions.
Or pursued them.
Yeah.
Nicholas Wayne Hammett. That's quite a name. Do you think the night before the crime? Do you think he was walking around going, "To bear or not to bear"? This is like hillbilly Dostoevsky. This is just like. So somewhere in here, there's either a very good movie or a really bad episode of a true crime. I don't know which one it is. Craig, would this be a better movie? Like there's a great movie like A Simple Plan.
Mm-hmm.
Simple Plan is a great movie, and it puts you on the edge of your seat. Great area, great moral choices, just like this right here. Would this be a great movie, or would this be a really terrible?
It's got to be played off as a comedy, and then it has to have the main character being a moron because he is a moron, right? So, as with any crimes, like you can't be tied to what it is you're doing. You have any connections, they're going to find it. They're going to figure it out. The only people who get away with stuff is when they don't know the people they're perpetrating and doing the victim for, and there's no ties. So. I'm not trying to teach people criminal behavior 101, but
Dojo, is it true that if you plan to commit a crime, there's 1,000 ways you can screw up and get caught, and if you can think of 990 of them, you're a genius, and most people aren't geniuses? Is that true?
I would find that to be very true. Yeah, and there's probably more than 1,000 ways you can mess it up. I was thinking when you asked the question about the movie, maybe this could be Cocaine Bear 2, The Cliff.
I can see that.
That's awesome.
Dojo, without getting yourself in trouble or revealing anything, what's the craziest case you cracked? Can you share anything?
No, I'm afraid not.
All right.
The fact that I have to keep confidentiality is one of the reasons,
Understood.
So we all get it. Yeah.
When you retire and do a tell-all biography, we will have you back on the show when you're free to.
There you go. I'll crowdfund my novel.
Great. Unbelievable. So, this is crazy. This is just absolutely crazy. I think we're gonna have to stay on this bear topic because it's like a glacier. I mean, it's like an iceberg. We're just seeing the tip of this, and as indicated by last week's show, something going on with these bear camouflage.
What's also interesting, so I talked about not having a lot of topics. You know how many animal escapes there are right now? Like it's ridiculous.
The monkeys, the lab monkeys, it's crazy.
Monkeys, pythons, cows, giraffes. Like there's
the mice, the 1,000 mice from last 2 weeks ago.
As soon as the monkey thing was announced, I asked, sort of in jest, but frighteningly, it could be true. What if this was their way to introduce a pathogen?
Right. The link between we kind of dug in that humor, a bit of 12 Monkeys going on with that for sure.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
But so before we jump straight into your campaign, Dojo, I have the trailer for everyone who's watching. So we currently have 19 watching on Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for joining us. This is episode 70, by the way. This is episode 70 of our show.
Oh, all right.
So here it is for everyone. Here's the trailer for Dojo Kun's newest campaign, Dojo Kun Chronicles.
Dojo Kun Chronicles is a 100-page compilation of origin stories for 13 different superheroes from Dojo Kun Comics. Bot 42, Lone Shark, Wisecracker, Sparrow, and many more. Many creative talents came together to chronicle these stories, including main cover artist Eric Nieltowski, with colorist Matt Yackey, the XX chromosome cover by artist Stefani Renee, and colorist Chris Leithwood, and the XY chromosome cover by artist Elliot Rodriguez, also colored by Chris. Deanna, Hammer of the Angels, #1, will also be available, with catch-up tiers to get Siamese and Projectile Reptile. Help make it happen for Dojo Kun Comics.
Did you throw that one together yourself? That trailer?
Oh yeah, does it sound like me? Awesome. No, no, I found that guy on Fiverr. As a matter of fact, he's the guy. There was an original commercial voiceover artist, and then this guy took his place. But he's the one you might be familiar with for saying "in a world."
Okay.
So yeah, that's the guy. He's got 45,000 voiceover testimonials.
Nice.
Oh wow.
Busy guy. Yep.
All right, Jackknife. We're starting with 18 backers. 18 backers here as our baseline. So make note of that, Jackknife.
Yeah, $800 raised. So.
Right. So as you can see, folks, this is the second 30 days. We're limping along, and there is a lot of material here. So, I mean, if you have any doubt as to whether or not there's a lot to read, I can tell you that Dojo Kun Chronicles is 100 pages. It's 100% complete. So there will be no wait for me to get the art done and the coloring, et cetera, et cetera. I made sure that this was done first. The add-on supplemental, Deanna Hammer of the Angels, it's 22 pages. It too is 100% complete. And then, of course, the two catch-up tiers, catch-up add-ons, Siamese and Projectile Reptile, they've been complete because they are complete and fulfilled campaigns.
One of those right here.
Yeah, exactly. Projectile Reptile right there. So, and Siamese is 120 pages and Projectile Reptile is 48. So the featured tier, for example, is all of these books together, plus some chibi stickers. You're going to get hundreds of pages of reading if you back the completest collection tier.
Okay.
I see it says 280 Canadian dollars. It's 200 US.
Yes. Nice. And then you have a digital you're offering as well.
Right. Yeah. For those people who like to have it in their hands on a mobile device, or those that would like to avoid, international shipping or something, I always want to make sure that a digital tier is available. We've got the main cover, which is a soft cover for I was going to say 35 for $25. That's by Eric Ninoltowski, which was a great get as far as artists on the main cover. For the XX Chromosome, I'm sure you've heard the trailer, but it's by Stefani Rene, which is a pretty rare get because he's been out of commission for quite a while. He's not doing well with his health, and that's no secret. I'm not doxing that about him, but yeah, I was very fortunate that he was available to do that. This is the XX Chromosome. As you can see, there are 7 ladies on the cover. Now, the XY Chromosome cover is by Elliot Rodriguez. Both the XX and the XY were colored by my colorist for Projectile Reptile. His name is Chris Leithwood. He's pretty new to the coloring gigs, and he's doing a fantastic job, in my opinion. The one thing I wanted to say about the XY Chromosome cover is we had a hidden contest on this campaign. And what I said was, what I wanted someone to do is via email, identify for me what on the campaign appears to be an error, and then explain why it is not an error. And within a day, Dave Brink from Genuine Comics came back with the correct answer. And that is, on the XY Chromosome cover, Sparrow is quite visibly female. And why would she be on that cover? He had noted in an earlier stream I'd been on that I mentioned that she was a kleptomaniac. So he said she stole the spot on the cover from the original Sparrow. And that's right. It was very meta on purpose. And, Dave is he's a very intuitive, he's imaginative. He does such great work on his Genuine Comics with Perfect 10 and Power Trip that I'm not surprised that he got it, but he got it pretty quickly. So I'm impressed. And for doing that, for identifying that, he gets a free copy of Deanna Hammer of the Angels #1 with his backing, because he is already a backer.
Nice.
Very cool. Dave's a good guy.
And then lastly, the main cover is available in hardcover form. I had hardcovers for both Siamese and Projectile Reptile, and they are just so nice. They are slightly smaller than a comic book in height and width, just very little bit smaller. And they feel great in the hand. They're great on the shelf. And the spines of these 3 books will be numbered 1, 2, and 3. So it'll almost be as if my hardcovers have a reading order identified.
Cool.
Very cool. Will this be your first hardcover? This one?
No, Siamese and Projectile Reptile both had hardcovers.
Okay.
Projectile Reptile, in fact, was the first hardcover that featured Shelby Robertson's art ever.
Oh, wow.
Which was kind of cool to get.
That's cool.
So I'll go through. So is this the main cover? Oh, this is the XX cover. Okay.
Nope, that's the main cover. That's the Eric Dineltowski cover. It's an homage. You guys were talking about homage covers earlier.
Mhm.
This is an homage to Amazing Spider-Man Annual, I think it's number 8, on which they had the West Coast Avengers. So it was a Todd Nauck cover with the West Coast Avengers, and this is an homage to that cover. And then staying with that homage theme, Stefani Renee did that for the XX chromosome cover with this one right here with all the ladies. So that's Deanna Hammer of the Angels in the top middle. Going clockwise, it's Ms. Mighty, then Fierce, then Sakura, then Siamese, then Breathtaker. And then on the XY cover, we talked about Sparrow. She's in the center top. Going clockwise, we've got Lone Shark. If you scroll down a little bit, we can see that Scarlet Archer is down there. In the middle is Sovereign. Bottom left is Bot 42. Wisecracker, who is in Projectile Reptile, is there on the left. And then at the top there is Starfrost.
Nice.
Bot 42, it stands for Biometric Organ Transplant. And he's the 42nd successful biometric organ transplant unit, but the success came at a high tragedy. It was at a high cost, and it will be the last one, and you can find out why if you read the book. He's got 2 chapters in this book. 16 pages of this anthology are dedicated to Bot 42.
It's a cool design.
Thank you. So there he is, leaping at someone to attack. And you can see that someone is armed.
Yes.
But yeah, that design, my co-creator on that character is Cy Lim out of Australia. He works for a company called Mighty Ape, which is their version of like Amazon, really. So he does a lot of advertising work for them. Next up are Dr. Primordial, who stars in the chapter called Primordial Tales. Sakura, which means cherry blossom in Japanese. And then Wisecracker is like my street level vigilante type. He battles with 2 truncheons, or those small bats.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Jason? I can see the hurting.
The Wisecracker, it just the is he just like a regular did he start out as a guardian angel and then he went too far, or like what? Tell me a little more, because he looks like he could be like one of those gray area characters where you're not sure if you should be rooting for him, and so kind of tell me a little more about this guy.
Well, what I can tell you about it is that the police don't appreciate his methodology. He's pretty brutal, and yeah, he would be at best anti-hero.
Okay, all right. Because the just the color scheme, yeah, just it's interesting. Interesting.
So there's some of the art for Dr. Primordial, and then Sakura, she faces off against, if you're into mythology at all, the avian demon type is a Tengu. So she fights a Tengu in her first chapter. And
is that an Egyptian?
No, it's Japanese mythology.
Okay.
I know you're thinking probably of, is it Horus that is the, yeah. And then, as you can see, some art there of Wisecracker. I didn't want to pick anything that was too spoilery.
Sure. That's
just him, on his night patrol. Actually coming home from night patrol, sitting down having a beer. Next up is Sovereign, Sparrow, and H2O. H2O are shapeshifters. They name themselves Halia and Undine, which is two, ocean goddesses. So they name themselves after that. Sovereign would be an alien scout sent to Earth to prepare us for domination. Going back to that theme that we were talking about with the Egyptian pyramids, he comes to Earth to scout us for, are we good to come dominate, take over, enslave? And he lands in Venezuela. Sparrow is, like I said earlier, a kleptomaniac who gets super bored and calls out to a genie, or better, properly known as a jinn. That jinn then grants her the ability to be uncatchable.
Interesting.
So you've got Juggernaut, who's unstoppable. You've got that Bruce Willis character who's unbreakable. Well, Sparrow is uncatchable.
All right. So, gentlemen on the dating market, don't even bother. Don't go after. You're not getting no. Is she? And help me out. Is she a hero or a villain or an agent? Like what? How does she use this? When she gets that ability, is it for 24 hours? How does she use it? Tell me more.
The ability is permanent.
Okay.
She starts out as a villain, kind of like Black Widow did, or Hawkeye did, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch. So, she's a kleptomaniac. She likes to steal things. When she's made uncatchable, she decides to ramp up what she's taking. She actually goes after Canadian Shield's hammer. So, she's no nonsense, but then she starts learning the better side of her powers. So, it's a hero's arc, like an arc of redemption.
Does the djinn hang around and like be like, I told you so, or
no?
Or
what? The djinn is super flighty and gets bored really fast and just says, "All right, you're out. I mean, I'm out. You're on your own."
I'm done with you. All right, Craig. If you had a djinn and he said, "I'll grant you one wish," would you say, "Unlimited wishes"?
That's right. There you go.
No, because in Aladdin, remember, the genie said, "Ixnay on the wishing for more wishes." So that's out.
All right.
But here's what I would do. I would just ask for the abilities of the Beyonder. You control reality, unlimited wishes.
Yeah.
Beyonder coming to the MCU.
Is that happening?
It is. Yeah, I believe.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so in 2026,
no.
we get Avengers Doomsday. In 2027, we get Avengers Secret Wars.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, every time they try to up the ante a bit.
I know.
So we've had Ultron and Thanos. I'm not sure if Doom's really upping the ante, but he's at least Thanos' level. And then Beyonder would be way beyond that. I don't know what they could do after that. Galactus?
If we went into the MCU and what we could do different better, we'd be here all night, guys. So oh boy.
Check out the chat. Philbo Baggins has a great point.
Yes, right. It was a drop of deuce though. The Beyonder said, "I have this unusual fullness in my abdomen." And Spider-Man said, "Oh, here, come in I'll show you what you need to do." The other thing is, say what you might about the Dobbs decision by the Supreme Court. Say what you might about Roe versus Wade. It was Jim Shooter that said, "Hey, let's turn the Beyonder into a baby and then kill him." I'm just saying. Oh, we got another question here. Oh no, there we go. Pixel Trader, Canadian Shield, as in Cross Comics character.
There is a Cross Comics character named Canadian Shield. He and I have talked about potentially having a crossover of our two characters. I don't know if that's going to come to pass. We'll see what happens with these campaigns, but they are dissimilar enough that neither one of us is worried about them getting confused.
Nice.
So H2O is the characters you have on screen now. They can appear to be human. They look like maybe Latina / Caucasian. It depends on the lighting. They can also have their actual natural skin, which is the gold and purple. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see that on the left of the page. So they're gold and purple. And then they can also shapeshift into mermaids. That is not very often because it's not very practical under most cases, but those are the 3 forms they can take.
And they were sent here to prepare Earth for...
No, that was Sovereign.
Sovereign, okay, gotcha.
That was the guy in the red and black. And then here we've got Skin, Swat, and Swift, Lone Shark, and the Scarlet Archer. Skin, Swat, and Swift are 3 Olympians who are hired to don those suits and become superheroes. Lone Shark would be the chip on the shoulder Atlantean that most companies have. And then Scarlet Archer should be pretty self-explanatory, but this is his second appearance. He appeared in Night Mist and the Scarlet Archer #1, which is available on my website. So in this one, though, he faces his first supervillain named the Electric Eye. And once we scroll down a little bit, you'll see some art that features the Electric Eye. So there's Lone Shark talking to some surface dwellers on the ship that he just saved. And he's not very happy that he had to do that. As far as why, that comes out in the chapter. Here's Scarlet Archer facing Electric Eye, like I just mentioned. And then I think below that is where we start talking about the supplemental, Deanna Hammer of the Angels, 22 pages. And this features her first appearance. And she, too, will be a part of the team that coalesces after all of this is said and done, this anthology. There will be a team called Trident's New Alliance, and she'll be the reluctant leader of that team. She's Heaven's disciplinarian.
Nice.
There's the opportunity to get Siamese, which is a trade paperback of my 4-issue miniseries from 2014. It's 120 pages, so there's a lot of material there. And Projectile Reptile was my latest campaign. It funded and fulfilled earlier this year, as a matter of fact. So, there's a chance to get that with the artist Peter Orchard. There's a couple of ash cans that are available as add-ons. Meanwhile is the one that was released with Siamese. Bog was released with Projectile Reptile. So those are both available as catch-ups. And then lastly, as far as a new item, is this set of chibi stickers. It comes on a single sheet. All 13 new superheroes are on that chibi sticker sheet. Because I know a lot of people were very happy with the ones that they got on my previous campaign. So I'm sticking with that. I used to have, Keshi figures and bookmarks and other stickers and magnets and all that. And it got to be a bit much. So I try to keep it pretty simple, just the books and these stickers. Now, there are stretch goals below, but I'm not sure we should even go down there because that's being a little optimistic. They are, however, by 6 a.m. So if you do want to feature his artwork for a second,
oh, nice.
No campaign is complete without a couple of things from 6 a.m. So he did Scarlet Archer for me, and he also did Deanna Hammer of the Angels. So if we get to those stretch goals, that would be awesome to get those magnets available to the folks who back the project. I see Jackknife is telling us to wrap it up. Yeah, we did say we were going to go for 60 minutes. So just want to say, that as of right now, it would take a Christmas miracle to get there. But I'm optimistic that, number one, backers, please understand that you can back with confidence because it is 100% complete. Mm-hmm. There will be the only wait will be for IndieGoGo to release the funds and for me to, send the print file to the printer and get that rolling. So there is a little bit of a pad there as far as when I expect to fulfill, but it's not going to be a year from now or 2 years from now. It's going to be within, 2-3 months at most.
Nice. Yeah. It is a rough time right now, just in general. People are struggling, just generally speaking, because of what's happened with the inflation the past couple of years, and crowdfunding is no exception in terms of it being difficult. But you are in a unique position because you've got these past campaigns where you've got your overprint, so you're able to you're in a position to have more add-ons than a lot of creators. So you do have that going for you. And I backed. I think Craig's probably backing. So we'll see what happens. But if this one doesn't hit the target, I look forward to seeing a reboot campaign on Kickstarter or IndieGoGo in the future to get the book out. But yeah, it is a difficult time just for crowdfunding in general. So
it really is. Yeah, I've been publishing comics for 10 years now. If you look at dojokuncomics.wixsite.com/dojokuncomics. You'll see my whole library there is available, most of which is available print on demand.
Good deal. Good deal.
I'm just dealing with the IndieGoGo where you have to go all the way back out and back in again to go back to the
Hey, Craig, make sure they don't get you with that tip trick they do.
Yeah,
Don't
watch that.
No, I caught that too. Yeah. Okay, so I believe we had 18 backers when we started.
18 we started.
We did. Yep.
Yep.
Pull her back
You
up.
hit refresh and see where we're at here.
Boom. So there you go. You
We're up to 20. Awesome. Thank you so much for those of them back.
Deal. Good deal.
Spread the word. If now's not the time that you have the funds or the inclination to back right now, anytime you see me tweeting about it on Twitter, if you repost, I'd appreciate it. If you just mention this on your social media, it would be a big help, because the more eyes on the project, the more likely we might snag a few more.
So we have 47 people watching live. Craig usually has 200 some people watch the replay. Please go take a look at this campaign, see if it strikes a chord with you. Please back. And when you do back, do a shout out on Twitter and tag Dojo so he knows that you're backing him, and help spread the word however you can.
Appreciate
it. Pixel noted the mermaids, with AR-13L.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we should have a crossover, Mermaid and the H2O.
Yeah.
All right. So Dojo, thank you for coming on. I hope the rest of your holidays, you have a great holiday with the family, and you have a great new year. And thanks for hanging out with us.
Appreciate you having me on.
Thank you. And those of you in the chat, thanks for hanging out with us. We know everyone's recovering from the tryptophan / carbohydrate hangover from Thanksgiving. So we're just glad that anyone showed up, because it's just everyone's just burned out from either the shopping or the turkey or the pumpkin pie. But as always, it's great to kick off our weekend, seeing all of you and sharing some laughs. And so thank you for hanging out with us.
So I've got a great outro. It's 8 minutes long, but like I said, I was editing it right till 5 minutes before the show. So I hope everyone out there appreciates. But 45 people tuned in to catch this episode live. And again, thank you so very much. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving and a good New Year to you. If we don't chat again before the New Year, Dojo. But,
yeah, thank you. You too.
All right.
Looking forward to seeing you guys again.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Have a great weekend, everyone.
And it means so much to me and to Governor Walz that you knocked on doors, you called friends, you
After a carefully orchestrated Sotheby's World Tour, Comedian returned in full force to our galleries here in New York and has been widely admired by a huge audience. As an addition of 3 plus 2 artist proofs, one of which is part of the esteemed Solomon R. Guggenheim collection here in New York, we are excited for its auction debut this evening. And with that, we're going to begin at $800,000, at $5 million for the banana. Here it is. Only at Sotheby's. These are words I never thought I'd say. $5 million for a banana. It's your expensive banana, Jen. And the hammer is coming up. This is it. Final time. Carly, don't let it slip away. 5,100,000. Fair warning now. All of our global bidders at 5,200,000. Here it goes. At the end of the global tour, it's slipping through the auction room of 5,200,000, and I'm going to sell it here. Fair warning, at $5,200,000. Jen, the Catalan is yours. Congratulations. Thank you very much indeed.
一根全球最贵的香蕉，不仅仅是一象征性的行为，与此同时，更是对当代艺术和文化创新的致敬。今天的现场，我们也非常荣幸能够与各位嘉宾和媒体朋友们共同见证这个充满创意与象征意义的美好瞬间。
Tonight we continue our coverage of a strange case out of Monroe County involving a fake bear attack, a phony 911 call, and $8 million in life insurance. Nicholas Wayne Hamlet was arrested 1 week ago in South Carolina for the murder of a man from Knoxville. On October 18th, officials say he called Monroe County authorities saying he was attacked by a bear. When they arrived, they found a dead body with an ID that had the name Brandon Andrade, but the man they found was Stephen Lloyd. The next day, police spoke to Hamlet. They say he told them he was Brandon's brother. Police say he then took a Greyhound to South Carolina. On October 22nd, authorities called Hamlet's wife, who also said Hamlet was Andrade's brother. Police say Hamlet was found on the side of the road in South Carolina on November 10th and was taken to a hospital. Hospital staff recognized him and he was arrested. 5 days later, he was brought here to Tennessee and his wife was arraigned as an accessory to murder. Officials say Hamlet had taken out $8 million worth of life insurance policies in Andrade's name since 2017, and officials believe Lloyd's murder was financially motivated.
Morning, Hoda. Good morning to you, honey. A lot of people bleary-eyed. They were up late watching the return. Some people were up late working the returns, but the results are really clear and decisive,
yes,
right?
The results are in. Donald Trump set to make a historic return to the White House. The former president, now the president-elect.
If your cup looks like a grinning dwarf, you might be an ancient Egyptian, ready to trip out. Researchers from the University of South Florida just dropped a bombshell. They found the first ever physical evidence of hallucinogens in an ancient Egyptian bees mug. Bees, the god of protection and fertility, adorned these mugs. But what did they hold? Thanks to advanced chemical analyses, we now know a potent mix of psychedelic drugs, alcohol, and, wait for it, bodily fluids. This mind-bending cocktail was likely used in magical rituals, possibly for fertility and protection during childbirth. Think about it. 2,000 years ago, Egyptians at Saqqara near the Great Pyramids drank this concoction to connect with the gods and ensure safe pregnancies. Science just confirmed that ancient myths have some serious truth to them.
That's the story of my life. No respect. That'll get no respect at all. You come up with no respect at all. I tell you, it's the same thing when I was a kid, no respect. I had to get my mother drunk to breastfeed me.
And it means so much to me and to Governor Walz that you knocked on doors, you called friends, you called in favors. You said, hey, you know, I showed up at your softball game, now I need you to show up at the campaign office. You put in the time, it was personal for you. And you gave all that you could to support our campaign. Because of your efforts, get this, we raised an historic $1.4 billion, almost $1.5 billion from grassroots supporters alone. The most in presidential campaign history.
I said, ain't you forgetting something, ma'am?
And the Harris campaign now in debt, $20 million. Lindy Lee, one member of the DNC's Finance Committee, says she and others were misled about the vice president's chance of winning the election. Lee says she helped raise millions for the campaign and now has to explain to donors why Harris lost. Just one example of their spending. The Harris campaign spent $450,000 a day.
$450,000 a day.
This was on ads displayed in Las Vegas, and now staff members and vendors are worried they may not get paid.
It can't get any worse.
Oh, it gets worse.
According to the reports, the Harris campaign spending six figures building a set for Harris's appearance on the Call Her Daddy podcast with host Alex Cooper.
This is what it's about. This is what we're best at, because we keep crushing it. Democrats, we keep crushing it. Look at all the elections you've won, Democrats. You keep winning. You keep outperforming. It's extraordinary. Pat yourselves on the back.
Another big ticket price, the $15 million the Harris campaign spent on event production. That also went towards the celebrity performances leading up to the election, like that Election Eve rally with Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, Ricky Martin.
And look where that got you.
Think about that.
An historic $1.4 billion, almost $1.5 billion.
At first, we didn't know what to do with all the money. We tried burying it, shredding it, and burning it. But in the end, we decided to just give it all away.
Come again, sir. I'm getting back in line.